Today we will learn about AI. AI revolution. Will it be another industrial revolution in the history of Homo sapiens? Why this time? It may be our minds that get replaced. In 1770s, Britain, an ordinary textile worker could never have imagined that the invention of a single machine would completely change the direction of human civilization. That machine was called the spinning jenny. Before it existed, a worker could only spin a limited amount of yarn each day. But the spinning jenny increased productivity by 8 times almost overnight, and later by more than 80 times. For the first time in history, humanity realized something shocking. Machines could outperform human muscles exponentially. And what happened afterward changed the world forever. Steam engines appeared. Factories emerged. Railroads connected nations. Cities expanded at incredible speed. Human civilization leapt from an agricultural society into an industrial civilization within just a few generations. And today, something very similar is happening again. But this time, there is one critical difference. 250 years ago, machines mechanized human muscles. Today, AI is beginning to mechanize the human mind. Many people still think AI is just a chatbot, something that writes articles, generates images, or helps with homework. But if you study history carefully, you'll notice something important. The technologies that truly change civilization rarely look revolutionary at the beginning. When the internet first appeared, many people thought it was just for sending emails. When electricity was invented, many factory owners believed steam engines were already good enough. But eventually, these technologies became the foundation of modern civilization. Economists actually have a term for this kind of technology: general-purpose technology. Only a handful of inventions in human history deserve that title. For example, the steam engine, electricity, the internal combustion engine, computers, the internet. And now, more and more experts believe AI belongs on that list too. Why? Because AI possesses two extremely powerful characteristics. First, AI has spillover effects. What does that mean? It means a technology doesn't just transform one industry, it spreads into every industry. The steam engine didn't just change textile manufacturing, it transformed transportation, mining, agriculture, and global trade. And AI is doing the exact same thing today. Many people still think AI is only about chatbots, but in reality, it is already entering healthcare, education, finance, law, manufacturing, scientific research, biotechnology. Even Hollywood is starting to use AI for script writing, visual effects, and storyboarding. Companies like OpenAI and Google DeepMind are now using AI to accelerate scientific discovery itself. One of the most famous examples is AlphaFold. Google DeepMind's AlphaFold successfully predicted over 200 million protein structures. That achievement was so significant that the journal Nature called it one of the greatest breakthroughs in biology in decades. In other words, AI is no longer just a tool. It is beginning to participate in the creation of knowledge itself. And that is where things become truly revolutionary. Second, AI is redefining wealth. During the Industrial Revolution, who became rich? Not the factory workers. It was the people who owned factories, railroads, coal mines, machines. In other words, whoever controlled the means of production controlled wealth. Today, a new form of means of production is emerging. They are becoming data computing power, AI, models, semiconductor chips. Why has NVIDIA's value skyrocketed? Because GPUs have become one of the most critical resources in the AI era. Why are companies like OpenAI, Microsoft, and Google fighting over data? Because data is the fuel of AI. In the future, the most valuable resource in the world may no longer be oil. It may be high-quality data instead. Some people have even started calling data the oil of the new era. Many people still think AI is powerful, sure, but it probably won't affect my life anytime soon. But if you think that way, you may be underestimating the most terrifying part of this revolution. Because this time, technological change is happening faster than any revolution in human history. How long did previous revolutions take? The steam engine took around 50 years to spread across society. Electricity needed nearly 40 years before it became common in homes and factories. The internet took about 20 years to fully transform the world, but ChatGPT, it reached 100 million users in only 60 days. That made it the fastest growing consumer application in human history. Faster than TikTok, faster than Instagram, faster than Facebook, and that changes everything. But AI is different. You may still be learning how to use it, while the technology has already evolved 3 more times. AI learns faster than humans. Industrial machines could replace physical labor, but they couldn't improve themselves. AI can. That's one of the biggest differences. In 2022, many AI systems still made obvious mistakes, but by 2025, AI could already write code, edit videos, create presentations, generate music, design products, write business plans, provide customer support, translate languages in real time. Some people have even started using AI instead of search engines. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella once said, "AI will become everyone's personal assistant." That statement may sound simple, but its implications are enormous, because it means every human being may soon have access to a kind of super brain. Many people still believe job replacement is something that will happen in the distant future. But the truth is, it has already begun, and it's happening faster than most people expected. The wave of tech layoffs. Between 2025 and 2026, major technology companies across the world began laying off employees at massive scale. One of the most famous examples was Amazon. The company announced layoffs affecting around 16,000 employees. One of the key reasons given was AI-driven efficiency improvements. Salesforce also reduced its customer support workforce dramatically. Their support department reportedly shrank from around 9,000 employees to roughly 5,000. Why? Because AI systems were now handling a significant portion of customer interactions. Then there was Klarna, the financial technology company. The company publicly stated that its AI assistant was already performing work equivalent to around 700 customer service employees. And according to the company, the AI worked faster, it cost less, it operated 24 hours a day, it handled millions of requests simultaneously. For businesses, the economic logic becomes obvious. Goldman Sachs and the 300 million jobs prediction. One of the most widely discussed reports came from Goldman Sachs in 2023. The report estimated that approximately 300 million full-time jobs worldwide could be affected by generative AI. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean all those jobs will disappear completely, but it does mean many jobs will be fundamentally transformed. According to the report, the most vulnerable industries include administrative support, legal assistance, customer service, data entry, translation, basic content writing, junior programming roles. And these jobs all share one thing in common. They are highly standardized. And standardized work is exactly what AI does best. The most vulnerable group may be white-collar workers. For years, many people believed factory workers would be replaced first. But now we're seeing something surprising. The first major wave of disruption is hitting office workers. Why? Because modern white-collar jobs are filled with rules and information processing. Things like writing reports, managing spreadsheets, organizing documents, preparing contracts, answering emails, creating presentations. These tasks may feel intellectual, but from AI's perspective, they are often structured patterns, and AI is extremely good at processing patterns. However, history also teaches us something important. Technology may destroy old jobs, but it also creates entirely new ones. If you traveled back to the year 1900 and told a horse carriage driver that one day there would be a job called social media manager, he would probably think you were insane. Because people living in that era simply could not imagine what the internet would become. And in the same way, many people today still cannot fully imagine the kinds of industries AI will create. But history gives us a very clear pattern. Every technological revolution destroys old jobs before creating new ones. The Industrial Revolution eliminated large numbers of hand-weaving jobs, but it also created mechanical engineers, railway workers, electrical engineers, factory managers, global logistics systems. The internet revolution did the same thing. Before the year 2000, the world had never heard of jobs like app developers, YouTubers, TikTok creators, e-commerce operators, SEO specialists, streamers. And today, millions of people make a living from those industries. AI is now beginning to create its own generation of entirely new careers. Prompt engineers. One of the hottest new jobs in recent years is something called a prompt engineer. Their job is surprisingly simple to explain. They specialize in communicating with AI systems effectively. Most people think using AI is easy. You just type a sentence and get an answer. But in reality, there is a massive difference between casual users and people who truly understand how to guide AI properly. For example, an average user might say, "Write me an article." But an expert might say, "Write a documentary-style script inspired by Black Mirror using emotional storytelling, historical comparisons, and data-driven analysis about the AI revolution." The results are completely different. That's why prompt engineering became valuable so quickly. Some job listings in the United States have already offered salaries exceeding $200,000 per year for experienced AI prompt engineers. Which leads to an interesting possibility. In the AI era, the most important skill may no longer be coding. Instead, it may be knowing how to communicate with intelligence itself. Over the last 20 years, the internet created a huge gap between people. The biggest advantage wasn't necessarily talent. It was access to information. People who understood how to search the internet had an advantage over those who didn't. People who understood online business made far more money than those stuck in traditional systems. Now, AI is creating a completely new kind of gap, and that gap is human-AI collaboration ability. One person plus AI can become an entire company. In the past, producing animation required an entire team. You needed writers, editors, voice actors, artists, musicians, video editors. But now, one person with AI tools can handle most of those tasks alone. For example, ChatGPT can write scripts, Midjourney can generate artwork, Runway can create videos, 11 Labs can generate realistic voices, Suno AI can compose music. Many YouTube creators today are already running entire channels completely alone. Some of them are earning tens of thousands of dollars per month, with no employees. This changes the economics of entrepreneurship completely. In the past, you needed dozens of people. Now you may only need one computer, one idea. One person who understands AI is creating super individuals. Before AI, individual human capability had limits. But AI is beginning to expand those limits dramatically. Someone who doesn't speak English fluently can now create global content using AI translation. Someone who cannot draw can generate professional-level artwork. Someone who never learned programming can now start building apps. That's why many people believe the future belongs to super individuals. And ironically, the biggest threat to large corporations may not be other corporations. It may be highly capable individuals empowered by AI. One of the biggest questions people ask today is, what should I learn for the future? In the past, mastering one skill could support your career for decades. But today, technology evolves so quickly that many skills become outdated almost immediately. Something you spend years learning today could be partially automated tomorrow. The World Economic Forum released a report called The Future of Jobs. According to the report, the most valuable skills of the future include analytical thinking, creativity, emotional intelligence, leadership, curiosity, lifelong learning ability. And if you look closely, all these skills share one thing in common. They are not standardized answer skills. What AI does best AI excels at: repetition, pattern recognition, standardized processes, data analysis. But AI struggles with things like genuine creativity, human emotion, complex judgment, deep empathy, taste and aesthetics, moral responsibility. In other words, the more your work resembles a machine, the more vulnerable it becomes. And the more human your abilities are, the more valuable they become. The ability to define problems. During the Industrial Revolution, humans learned how to operate machines. But in the AI era, humans must learn something entirely different. We must learn how to ask the right questions. Because AI can generate answers, but deciding which questions are worth asking still belongs to humans. That may become one of the most valuable skills of the future. The most powerful people in the future may not be executors. They may be strategists, designers, system thinkers, creative leaders. This is probably the question that fascinates humanity the most, and science fiction has explored it for decades. From the Terminator to the Matrix, humanity has always feared intelligent machines. But today, for the first time, that fear feels real, because AI is evolving incredibly fast. But perhaps the real question is different. The biggest question may not be, will AI surpass humans? The real question may be, will humans continue evolving? Many people think the danger of AI is machine consciousness, but a far more realistic danger is something else entirely. Human beings may stop thinking, because when AI can generate content, answer questions, write essays, solve problems, automate tasks, some people may slowly lose the desire to learn, and that could become humanity's greatest weakness. Over the next decade, AI may become as integrated into daily life as the internet is today. You may eventually have an AI assistant, an AI teacher, an AI doctor, an AI financial advisor, an AI creative partner. Many jobs that currently require large teams may eventually require only one human plus AI. Even education itself may completely change, because in the future, memorizing information may matter less than understanding how to use information effectively. The final truth: AI is not the end, it is an amplifier. Many people see AI as a competitor, but perhaps AI is something else entirely, an amplifier. AI amplifies human productivity, creativity, intelligence, learning speed, business efficiency. But it also amplifies laziness, dependency, low-value work, lack of critical thinking, which means the biggest gap between people in the future may no longer be education. Instead, it may be whether they are willing to grow alongside AI. Final ending. Winston Churchill once said, "The farther backward you can look, the farther forward you are likely to see." The Industrial Revolution did not destroy humanity. It liberated humanity from repetitive physical labor. And the AI revolution may ultimately do the same thing. It may liberate humanity from repetitive mental labor. In the future, the most valuable human qualities may no longer be efficiency alone. They may be creativity, empathy, judgment, responsibility, the courage to think independently. Because the AI revolution is not only changing technology, it is reshaping human civilization itself.